PDC. So much so, he revealed he was even considering pulling out of the tournament. Delighted to say Mervyn has come over to the Lakeside Players' Lounge to join us. Mervyn, emotions running high last night, but first of all, congratulations on a fantastic performance. Your darts were sensational, sir.
Thank you. Once I got them going.
What was the story of the game as far as you were concerned?
Just a very slow start, really. I mean, Tony started a lot stronger than I did. And I needed to G myself up to get it going. Fortunately, it worked.
Yeah. The day wasn't a good one for you.
I'd just like to say, I have been told that I apparently said a few things to Tony. I can't remember them. I get so focused, and if I did, I'd like to apologise to Tony. Sorry, mate.
So suggested that a couple of things were said on the hockey as you were playing that...
Yeah, I can't remember a thing about it. It's, I remember hitting the win and double, and that's about it.
Autopilot, trying to get yourself back in the game.
Well, you get focused. You get so focused in what you're doing.
Yeah. Well, we see your facial reactions, and you are quite in the zone, aren't you?
I have to sometimes. Sometimes I don't. Yeah, but a lot of the time I need to G myself up. And
It wasn't a great day for you. Reports in the newspaper suggesting that you were going to move to the rival darts body, the PDC, clearly upset you, or the response that you got from those reports in the newspapers upset you. Can you just sort of channel through what was happening in your build-up to the match?
Well, I mean, nobody wants hassle when they've got a quarter-final match to play. Nobody wants hassle when they've got any sort of match to play. You've got to focus and concentrate on the job in hand. And there were so many people asking questions, and just you could hear the comments and everything else. I mean, these are people I've known for a lot of years, you know, not just players, inside the organisation as well. And at the end of the day, I'd just about had enough of it.
How does the situation stand now? Have you been offered a contract by the PDC?
That's exactly the same as I told you last night. If you want to know anything, ask Robert Holmes.
Robert Holmes says you are not going to go to the PDC. You'd rather give up darts rather than go to the PDC. So is that the answer we can take as being Mervyn King's response to this?
If that's what Robert Holmes has said, fine.
Can you just confirm that's exactly what you said to him?
I've just told you, ask Robert Holmes. That is it.
Do you understand the fuss and the furore this is creating?
At the end of the day, I'm here to play darts. That is it. I don't need any of this, any hassle. There will be people turning up tomorrow, and if I get any, they'll sort it out. I've had enough of it.
Now, God loves a trier. Has there been a communication breakdown between you and the BDO on this?
Well, it would certainly appear so. Nobody, apart from Robert Holmes, has actually wanted to sit down and talk. All I get is hearsay. But that's their problem and not mine. As I said, I'm here to play darts. And
we know your crusade to win this title has been a long one. Can you just articulate how important it is for you to be the BDO World Champion?
Well, it's the World Championship, isn't it? I mean, everyone wants to win it.
In business, in sport, we respect people's decisions. If you were to go to the PDC, that would be another challenge for you. Do you see it as an opportunity? Do you see it as an option you are considering?
You get placed a lot of options throughout your years, throughout your whole life. And whatever decisions you take and which direction you go, you have to live by. So, yeah, maybe in the future, I don't know. We'll see.
Perhaps this is something that should be revisited on Monday, but from our perspective, I hope you understand that on one hand, we just say, you've been offered a contract by the PDC. We respect that. You might not make your mind up yet the BDO tell us, you have said, I would rather not play darts at all than play for the PDC. Can you understand the...
I can understand exactly where you're coming from. But as I said, I'm just here to play darts.
Yeah. I'll have one more go, then I'll shut up Mervyn. Can you just settle for us once and for all where you stand on? You've been offered a contract, you have not made your mind up, or have you made your mind up and you choose not to say at the moment?
No comment.
Well,
listening to Mervyn King's comments alongside me, Robert Holmes from the British Darts Organisation. No comment, once again, from Mervyn King, is no comment. Where do we stand?
I don't know. Merv seems to think that I've got to answer for him. And that's because of a conversation that we had yesterday in which I asked him the clear question, are you going PDC? And he said he'd rather stop playing darts than go to the PDC, which is exactly what he told me a week before Christmas when I phoned him up in answer to some of the rumours that were going around. And I asked him this very same question, and he laughed and he said, I'd rather stop playing darts than play PDC. So if he wants that sort of clarification, that's what I'm giving you now.
Are you surprised that Mervyn won't elaborate any further and that he is actually leaving all the news to you?
No, Merv's a very private sort of man, and he's focused on the darts, and really and truly got very distracted yesterday because of this story that started in the Times. And because I look after this tournament, and because he's one of our respected players, he's now into the semi-finals, he just doesn't want to be distracted. Now, I have known him for a number of years, and I respect what he says, and I'm believing what he says at the moment, and I hope it's true.
Obviously now Mervyn King is in the semi-finals. As far as I understand it, he is contracted to come back to the Lakeside next year. You get exemption for next year.
Yeah.
Will the BDO be putting that case forward to Mervyn and saying whatever the future does hold for you, you have to come back?
That's right, yes. I mean, he signed a contract. It's a commitment contract that benefits ourselves, the players, and of course BBC Television, because this is a very, very valuable sporting event to them. So we have to protect that and bring the best players back every year. And because he's got to the semi-finals, he now comes back next year. And that's part of the contract.
Obviously the British Darts Organisation want to protect their investment in the sport of darts as well. And every year, some players decide to go over to the PDC. Eventually, they might not. They might come back again. But what steps are the BDO taking to keep your players within your system?
Well, by giving them the best darts available. This is a proper sport. I've said it many, many times before. Our players come from all over the world, and they have to qualify for this event. We don't have wild cards. We don't invite people in because of who they are. They have to earn the right to be here. And our players know and understand that, and that's why they stay in our system. There will always be people that want to move across. At the moment, there are players that want to come the other way and come back to us, and that's fine. We just look after the sport for people of all abilities, and that's our role. We don't run the BDO as a business, whereas the PDC is a business, and it's there for a certain number of professionals, and they can come and they can offer players monetary inducements, which we can't because we're democratically elected, and our organisation belongs to the players.
But there is more prize money available in the PDC, which makes it, at times, an attractive proposition.
Yeah, well, you could also say there's more television available to the PDC players, but not at the levels that we have on terrestrial television with the BBC. I mean, we've just been told that the viewing figures for Sunday, for instance, were 3 million. Well, you know, it's an enormous amount of viewers. Our players know, and the sponsors also know, that they're being seen by a huge audience, not just on BBC, but on Eurosport, BBC Worldwide, and they know and they respect that. Some players will be induced over and have been induced over. We can't stand in the way. If they want to go, we can't stand in the way. All we do is explain the situation. They know the way the system works, and so there are players now that want to come back the other way.
Everything swings around. Just to finally touch on Mervyn King's actions on the stage against Tony Eccles, he's apologised to us if he offended Tony, and there were certain moments we caught on camera that were slightly unsavoury. Where do the BDO stand? Will they be speaking to Mervyn?
Yeah, we're very keen on keeping discipline on stage because, you know, darts is exciting. There's lots of drama in it, but it's a family audience, so we don't want things that offend. Tony mentioned it to me afterwards. He didn't make any official complaint. He could have gone to the referee on stage and mentioned what was happening and how it might have been affecting him. He didn't choose to do that. But yes, of course we'll have words with the players. I've already had words with Tony. I haven't been able to speak to Merv today. He's kept himself very quiet, and he's been speaking to you, and I'll speak to him later.
Robert, thanks for joining us.
Pleasure.